I've been streaming for 30 minutes. Good morning. Not good
Well, we are
morning.
streaming
So
now, so
sorry.
that's
Good
good.
evening, everyone. Here we are, our third podcast. Here we have All Day Wong, Dorky Raptor, Wolfgang, and Debbie
Yeah,
Daddy.
yours truly.
And yep,
Ah, so what's on the
Mhm.
docket today, Debbie? What are we talking about?
we could talk about how Diablo season 2 incoming. Great
Yes, we got Diablo
Season two?
game
2
that
I don't
we
and
know.
Season
literally
2 on the way.
Season two is coming. Is it gonna make you jump back on? I kind of stopped after season one.
Yeah, no, the fact that it's at Season 2 after, was it 4 months after release? That just screams
Right? It does
in-app
seem kind of fast. I
purchases.
don't like how fast
I
it's
was
changing.
like, that just screams Activision trying to dig in my wallet and give me a video game experience. So I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
that just turns me off. But looking at some of the perks or features, I think I saw like 4 new bosses coming to what was it, tier 4, a boost in experience that should
Yeah.
be what, about 40% I saw, and yeah, they're providing roadmaps to reach level 100, which I think is, it baffles me. I don't know if it's ever happened. Maybe you guys have seen that before. I've never seen a game tell me how to play, give me a roadmap on how to play it.
Oh,
um,
like how to grind?
but yeah, it's a roadmap on how to grind for to get to level 100. You know, I'm not saying it's bad. I just, like, I've never seen that before. I've seen roadmaps for, you know, game extensions, DLCs, roadmaps, but a roadmap on how to grind to level 100 is new to me. So it's the world we live in. What do you guys think? Is it something that's going to pull y'all back in?
No, I don't think I'm gonna go back. Maybe if they add another character, I might go back for that. Another class, but vampire abilities that are seasonal, no thanks, not for me.
Nah, I haven't. I was gonna play Diablo 4, but I heard about the updates that they've done and a lot of the perks and uh, balances just to kind of push it out there. So, I mean, for those who are still playing, that at least they get the opportunity to see all the changes on there. So that would be fun for Diablo players. I'm more of a I like to play it without needing the seasonal stuff. I understand it's not
Mhm.
for everyone, but hopefully it goes out well. All the stuff that comes out with them, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you on that one, but I get that. How about you, Wolfgang?
I don't know. I can't. They made it sound like it was easier to level up, like they boosted XP gains. I'm not sure if they did that or if they just gave you more stuff to do. More stuff to do? No thanks. But if they made it easier to get to 100, I'm okay with that.
Which, I mean, I think that was the intent of that. Um, and I think for season 2 itself, I think instead of what is their feature, like the vampire stuff and like that, I think I saw that you kind of like get a fight like shadow versions of the classes. So again, I'm not
Oh yeah.
saying any of that's bad or anything. I think it would have been cool like 6 months from now. But I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to force it to be like a forever play every day type of game instead of something you come back to. And I think that's what's kind of like, I don't know. It's been out for 4 months and I feel like it's already like in desperate mode. And I don't know. It's not great for a franchise that I fell in love with growing up, and
Well,
was
did
super
you
excited
play
for this.
one, two, and three?
I played 2 and 3, 2 being my favorite. Pretty much spent my entire middle school invested in Diablo 2. Uh, all the way until they got the auction house. I still played it when the auction house was around, but I was a middle schooler with no money, so that was a big turnoff to me.
Ah, I remember the auction house. That was
Yeah.
intense.
To be fair, as an adult with money, it still turns me off. So, uh, so I was like, yeah, never a big fan when they start trying to reach for my wallets. But yeah, all right. The next thing here, I mean, have to ask for some assistance on this one, but Sony Picture Core and PlayStation for PlayStation 4 and 5s. What is this? Can somebody tell me what's going on here?
There used to be a Bravia code. Y'all know the Sony Bravia, but they had some
yeah.
options where you can do watch movies in.
That was
So
like their frontline TVs, right? Like their
Yeah.
front of the line or top of
But
the
I think
line.
but they're doing a name change on there, and now they're calling it Sony Picture Core, and that one is going to be where you have access to a bunch of movies, select movies from Sony's pictures distributions. If
So
you
it's like
have
a
Uncharted,
streaming service.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's a streaming service. Now it's going to be available on PS4 and PS5. You get early access to some of the stuff, and now if you have a certain tier of PlayStation Plus, I think they're going to pick about 100 movies that you can watch for free as long as you're subscribed. So it's a very beneficial movie, kind of. It feels like they're trying to really make it more valuable with the deluxe and the other tier PlayStation Plus that they have. Because I'm only paying for the essential, but I remember recently they announced they're going to do a price hike, and I think Sony's really trying to make sure that they're trying to make it more beneficial for subscribing for the higher tiers.
Interesting.
I saw some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
make me get premium though.
I'm
not gonna
sorry.
get premium.
you may have said this. So is this only for the Bravia TVs? And I'm sorry, is the Bravia TV changing its name to Sony Picture Core, or is Sony PlayStation Picture Core? Is that like a service?
It's more
It's
of a
not-
service.
Okay.
That seems like to be like I think the Brava TVs are still there. They're just renaming the access to the Bravia Core, which is basically just to be more in depth to what separate the two. So it's not just the Sony TVs, and now they're trying to throw their stuff into the gaming consoles. So they probably had to like reorganize and rechange everything.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that. I I don't know. I can't recall like a huge Sony film I watched recently. I think Will, you called out some of the later ones. I think I've only seen maybe 2 of the Resident Evils. I did see the Uncharted. I didn't really play the game, so I didn't really have that connection with it. I just know Tom Holland from Spider-Man, which I means it's cool, but that's usually not enough to get me to watch a movie. But I guess it worked for this case. But I guess
Well, the recent one is the Gran Turismo movie, the racing movie.
Yes,
Oh,
they're
yes.
really hitting that.
I was like, yeah, not
haven't
to
seen
stray
it.
away from our topic, but that actually looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like it even made me want to play a racing game. Believe it or not, I'm not a racing guy. I don't know if I'll go buy Gran Turismo, which is probably their goal. I'd probably just download, I don't know, Forza 5 and give that another spin. But no, it looked pretty good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the movies. Movies have been good so far. I
Mm.
still haven't seen Gran Turismo yet, but it's on my list.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my Plex server one day.
How about you, Deb? You're a big fan of Sony Picture movies. Does this entice you? Is this something you want to add to the household?
Gran Turismo is something I really, really wanted to watch, but we just couldn't
Oh.
miss it in theaters. But
I didn't know
yeah,
it came
I
out.
don't think did we watch anything else? Like, what else is something we watched, Will?
We count Mario video game movies. We watched Mario like a bunch of times.
Mario is my literal all-time favorite family movie. Like, my God, I have a poster of it in my living room. Like, I die hard love it. Yeah, hardcore. Yes.
Okay, so here is a couple of other movies. So I don't know. I just did a quick search of Sony Picture movies, and okay, this entices me just a little bit. We have Spider-Man. Those are Sony movies. Of course, the Resident Evils. Click. Adam Sandler's. I don't know if y'all know that, but I'm a huge Adam Sandler
Click.
fan. Charlie's Angels.
Oh well, then
The
so then what,
Amazing
the other one,
Spider-Man.
like Yeah, Looper would be one of them too. So would I think Final Fantasy? That one of the movies?
Ah, yes, like the Final Fantasy. What was it? 15?
I think it was 15. That's
Yes,
also
yeah.
Sony then.
Men in Black. Isn't
Oh,
that
so
Sony
they're,
Pictures?
they're going back into the repertoire there.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going that far into the well, but that is kind of enticing. I don't know if I'll add another service. I think I have plenty in the house to occupy me in any given night. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're trying to jump in that service. Why not? Oops, here we go. We got some fast football going on. Hold on. Oh, that's funny.
So on this one, it's 100 movies if you're a premium or deluxe member through the Sony Picture Cores app, but everything else is buy or rent like any other, but from the Sony Picture library. I
Uh,
did on some of the stuff that I've seen in there too. It's like the Resident Evil, the the Looper. I did see Godzilla in there. They have a few Godzilla movies, and I was just like, oh, there's another way I can watch the Godzilla films. So
Hey,
those,
but I don't trust this. I wouldn't trust this because Xbox has their own too, or Microsoft has its own. But you can only watch it if you have an Xbox or a Windows computer. You can't
mm,
stream it any other way. So,
yeah.
and you can only install that movies and TV app on an Xbox or a Windows PC.
boo.
So,
I
Yeah.
hate.
this is doing the same thing. Not a fan.
Yeah, if they're just locking it to PlayStation TV, or I'm sorry, Sony TVs or
PlayStations.
PlayStations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, they lock it down and try to make it exclusive to their stuff. Like, yeah, that's just a big
Because
nah.
I bought with the My Hero seasons and Dragon Ball Super movies or Z movies, and they're all on Xbox. So I can't watch
Mm,
them anywhere else except my laptop or an Xbox.
they're trapped there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oof.
I bought like the Mario movie. I bought it on 4K because I was just like, I at least want to be able to watch it on any 4K device that I have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
Oof.
When
Blu-ray.
I acquire my movies, I try to get the 4K version.
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Debbie, don't listen.
Oh, and so moving on to our next topic, Lego Animal Crossing. I'm kind of shocked to see this here, but anybody, um, does this entice anybody?
well, okay, maybe not the Lego. First, let's figure out though, like who here did play the regular old Animal Crossing.
I
I
I
played
feel
the
like everyone, okay,
original.
come on, like this is what came out in COVID. Like, yes, admit it, you played it. But how long did you
No,
last? When did you start? You know.
but here's the thing. I played it since the original GameCube. I played the original GameCube. I wasn't able to play the DS version. I played the Wii version, the City Folks. I played the 3DS, a New Leaf, and then I also played this one. I was anticipating Animal Crossing New Island or whatever, the Switch one. Uh, no, I played them. I'm a big fan of it, and I've always been enjoying it. I was really surprised when that was announced just out of nowhere. It was just a, hey, we're making an announcement, and it's like a quick trailer. I'm more excited that, like, I'm excited for it. I just want to see what they're gonna bring out to it. I'm hoping one of my favorite neighbors is in there. Fang. He's always been a fan favorite of mine. Um, but I just wish we just got just a teaser, basically, just an announcement. We'll see what happens when the new one comes, when they actually give out more information later.
Yeah. Hmm, interesting. A surprise gift, maybe? Maybe Wolfgang for Debbie Daddy? Maybe? All
I don't know.
right.
She doesn't play often enough for me to buy her anything video game related. Like I bought
Yep.
her a top of the line, headset for streaming and video gaming, and what's she using? Razer glasses.
Right now, yes. Right now, yes, yes. You know, because it's great. You can't even tell. You know, I like it. Look, I liked it.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna go there. Not gonna go there. Justin bought some. You know, like it's that great. You know. Anyway,
No, your
we won't go
whole
there.
your whole office bought some because of me
Yeah.
slash
Oh
you.
my God. So hilariously. Okay, so y'all guys know the story, right? Justin bought these exact same glasses looked me dead in the eye and said, "I refuse to match with a girl." You know, he's like, "You are not allowed to wear these glasses if I'm working in like right next to him." Until he got his Bose glasses. So he finally got his Bose brand glasses. And I'm like, "Oh, thank God, I only had to wait 1 month. Now I can wear my glasses here in the front." And literally up to today, everyone's like, "Wow, look at y'all. Y'all guys are twins. How cute." You know, this and that. And like, we're matching and stuff. And he's literally like full of hatred. So full of hate because, yeah, and he hates being twinning with me right now. And then he's always like, look at the differences. And there's none. There's none. But, poor guy.
Oh, well, that probably explains why he's not on today.
Yeah, he didn't want to match.
Hey, he would have loved the Animal Crossing. He played that big time.
Did he? I don't know.
He did.
I feel like I don't know. He never talked about it. I brought my Switch and my Steam Deck to show him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, cool, man, it's nice."
He definitely talked about it with me. He was all like, "Yeah, I was unemployed. That's all I did. Straight Animal Crossing, like hardcore, like nonstop every day."
I, I
Well,
I'm not a time traveler. I'm not gonna give crap for anyone for time traveling. I know people like to do that. I'm
yeah,
just
he was
more of
pretty
a.
solid.
I enjoyed my days with it. So I was
See,
just yeah.
yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I stopped playing for like 6 or 7 months, and I'm like, you know what? I really want to get the blue roses. So for like a week straight, I tried to get the blue roses by time traveling. Did not get them. Could not get them at the end.
Oh,
Like the way to get them is very convoluted. It's ridiculous how difficult it is.
it's like you just gotta
Uh,
wait. No, no. Oh man. But I don't know how to transition from Animal Crossing to Call of Duty, but here we go. Call of Duty
Yep.
Modern Warfare 3. We have the beta coming up, or is that this weekend?
Today.
When is this?
Today.
Today. Today is
For,
going
today if
live.
you pre-order the game. Yeah, if you pre-order it.
Man. When
Um,
does it come out?
PS5 only.
Ah, yeah. I would imagine one of the last exclusive deals that they may
exclusivities.
have.
Yeah, the
probably.
exclusivity before everything gets with with Activision, Active Blizzard, and Microsoft. And this is Sony's way of going out, I guess, from the exclusivity stuff. I saw previews. I saw that there's a few things that they're changing up. We're bringing another Warzone, but it's they're adding to the existing Warzone stuff. But one of the biggest thing, like what we're seeing right now, is zombies. I've always been wanting to play zombies since Black Ops 2. And when I played Black Ops 2 back in when I used to play it a while back, and this is more open world zombies. I'm actually interested in it. I'm willing to drop down money just to play it. So if I
My,
can,
my, my,
Aren't they all
my,
open world? Like
my,
open
my,
area?
my ears perked. The open world zombie? What?
yeah, open world zombie. Where you go through areas. So I saw some previews. I follow Stone Mountain 64, and a few of my friends shared me some stuff, like more details. But as I was watching through some of the previews, like it looks like it's different zones of how much zombies are included. And so like you go and travel through all these areas, like you're basically in I guess in a huge map, and you upgrade as you go through the areas. So it's not just rounds like they did in previous games. Hey, I'm interested. How often do you get
Yeah.
something like that? Other than, Dead Island and stuff, but in the Call of Duty form.
Yeah, no. I agree. Like I said, I saw Call of Duty and I was just like, all right, I'll just gaze past this. But then I heard open world and zombie, and I was like, hold on, what?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Some COD zombies.
I'm not saying I'm gonna go get the beta today, but I'll take a look at it because yeah, I wasn't. I know it was good. I know it was critically acclaimed, the zombie mode and all that the Call of Duties would occasionally have in their games. But I was never a big because I would call that more like a roguelite, for like a first person roguelite type of zombie experience. Um, I get it. I played it for a little bit. But I played it one time. I think that was enough for me. But yeah, I never like it never sold me on it again. But yeah, if you're gonna tell me it's more of an open world, like if you give me like a little more what is it, Dead Island, experience type, I would be down for that. Or I'm sorry, maybe a better comparison would be what is that? The zombie game with all the hordes? Not zombie army. Um,
Left
There
4
is Zombie
Dead.
Army though.
Left 4
Dead.
Dead. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes. Uh,
Well,
yeah.
no,
You
it's
give
Back
me.
for Blood now.
Yeah.
The original developers,
Yeah.
the Left 4 Dead, we went off to do Back for Blood, and then that kind of just went downhill
Didn't
quick.
work.
Nah,
Yeah.
knowing Steam not learning not wanting to count to threes. I don't think we're gonna get like Left 4 Dead 3. Maybe an alternate universe or it's in Area 51, so it's sitting in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half-Life 3, right? Half-Life 3 is coming out in 20 years.
Hey, at least we know it's in progress. That's a sign. Speaking of progress, we go through this really quick. But Red Dead Redemption, I know that came up on last week's podcast. We did talk about it coming to the Switch in a cloud version, but I don't think we touched on the Red Dead Remaster port that recently came out and was, destroyed on Twitter for being pretty much just a
Straight up
port.
for
Yeah, just straight up port of the previous version and just changed the console type on the stores. That got a silent patch update, or I mean, it got a regular patch update, but what they silently included in there was a patch for 60 frames per second.
Oh,
I
that's
have,
neat.
yeah, I've never played Red Dead Redemption, and I know this port also comes with that zombie DLC that it had.
Wait, you never played any of them? Either of them, or
I've
just the first one?
neither one of them.
Oh,
So
okay. Sorry, guys. I gotta go take Walter. Stream's over. Right? I gotta.
yeah, so this port kind of got me intrigued. I don't know about you guys. You tell me. Um,
you missed out on a very fun game. Left 4 Dead.
You ride a bull.
I'm
right?
sorry.
well,
Red Dead Redemption. It is. I haven't played the second one, but I have played the first one. Now the 60 FPS patch only applies to the PlayStation version. Xbox, I think, has like a attempted 60 FPS, but the Switch sadly does not get the they don't get the same benefits. They're trying, but I
okay.
wish.
So you actually brought up a good question. So on the Xbox though, with the original Red Dead prior, not this remaster port or however they were advertising it, but if you had the original Red Dead Redemption on 360, would that get upscaled though to 60 frames per hertz? Isn't that like their whole
Well,
backwards compatible thing?
it is backwards compatible. It'll probably get some small updates to be a better performance. Now, I don't know too much about it. I think it was like it's not a steady FPS, 60 FPS. They do upscale it to like depending on what console you have, they do some few resolution upscales. I don't remember the numbers exactly. I think it was like 900 900p. I think if you play on the Series X, it kind of bumps it up a little bit.
Yeah. So I think it was for backwards compatible. It upscaled the resolution. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Aside
Hmm.
from the 60 FPS, I don't think there's anything you're getting by buying it again on the Xbox.
Interesting.
I think because yeah, that was one of the backwards compatible titles. And let's see. Yeah, available as backwards compatible with 4K resolution if you played it on Xbox One. So if you had an Xbox One, you played it on the series, you could have 4K and all that. So I'm not sure why you would buy it again,
Yeah.
except for the 60 FPS. Well, you really did miss out on that because you could they had multiplayer on that one too. You could ride a bull. You could show it was one of the like very high tier level unlocked you could get, and one of them was a bull. You could just ram through people with the bull. It was
The
awesome.
problem I do remember was the multiplayer was really if you went to public lobbies, chances are you were going to run into hacked lobbies.
Oh,
They were
Yeah.
really bad. Yeah, it was best to kind of just play like privately because the hack ones they'll just get you really quick, and it was just like, I'm done, not
Yeah,
interested.
that's true.
So
Yeah,
But
it was
it's
always
as old as GTA, I think. Let's see, when
was
GTA
it
have
also-
wow. It's one of those franchise or one of those games that I've always wanted to play, but because of the length of it, it's always kind of deterred me because I'm not one to just kind of play a game for a few hours and then call it a day. Like the com- the complete the well, I don't know what they call it, the completeness or the completist in me would want to at least play the story through. And I know with all the side quests and everything, it's like any other open world game. It's you're probably gonna get distracted doing something else for long periods of time in between your playthrough. So that always intimidated me. A lot like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Although I did get around to Breath of the Wild, and that was incredible when I did play it. But yeah,
Oh, you haven't played
Yep.
Tears yet? Did you own Tears though, right? You just haven't played it yet.
I do. I haven't. It's one of the headliners on my backlog.
too
It's
many
like,
games, not enough time.
yeah. Hey, that
It's
was a
fine.
big reason why I put down um, Baldur's Gate 3 because that game is ginormous. As amazing as it is, it's like either I'm going to play this for the rest of the year or I could go play Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 3, finish Fire Emblem. you know, I was like, so I had to pause that experience after like 60 hours and you know play some other things. I was like, yeah, but yeah,
I don't
um,
know, but some of those games like Fire Emblem, just any really JRPG, is a lot of like that's a good one to play like on the couch or something. So I don't really have. That's the only way I would want to play it is like streaming or something. Anything turn based, basically. I'd rather play not at my TV, play in the bed or while someone's using the TV, stream it to my phone. But
mm,
with the new PS Portal coming out, I don't know. Maybe that would entice me to play more games like that, more JRPGs like Sea of Stars. Haven't played
mhm.
that yet, even though it's on my backlog. But that's a perfect game to sit on the couch and play on my little tiny screen, or
Yeah.
giant screen with the handles of a PS5 controller.
Yep. Yep. Speaking of PlayStation Portal, so it sounds like you would be somebody that would be enticed by the PlayStation Portal, and you don't seem to be
I would
alone
be
in
if
that.
I
I was like, yeah.
yeah,
I
I
was like,
would
yeah.
be if I didn't live in the middle of nowhere. My internet is not good enough to stream.
To hold
Guys, what's wrong with the PS Vita?
Uh,
It
does
has
that,
you're still living on Vita
died.
Island.
and I don't think it streams. Right? You can't. Can you remote play from
You
that?
you can remote play from the Vita. The thing is though is that the PlayStation Portal gives you basically the functions of a PlayStation 5 controller and all the feedback, but it's just attached to a tablet. Now, the only problem that I have with it is it's literally just to stream your PlayStation from, like your PS5. I don't see any benefits right now of can you do stuff outside of it? Can you be another Vita with its own games? I don't think. I mean, my end is I have a tablet. I can Bluetooth to it. I can run the app. I can do it like that. But I don't need a dedicated machine myself or spend that much just to get that's only dedicated to like one thing because I can also play emulators on my tablet. So that's the only problem that I have with it. But if you see a benefit for it, go ahead. I don't see the benefit in my end. But this is just kind of a this doesn't hit my market itself. But apparently, with all the sold out pre-orders, it's hitting somebody. Someone's interested.
Yeah, yeah. I heard. Yeah, I heard it's really big in Japan in particular. I think Amazon sold out for a period of time. So I thought that was very intriguing. I thought this was going to be something that just sat there for a good period of time. Um, but no, it seems to be flying off the shelves. I think I saw recently that a lot of the major retailers did just recently restock on those pre-orders, which is weird. That means they had them. I don't get how that works, but I don't know retail, so I'm not gonna pretend to know that. But but yeah, me personally, I currently have like a backbone that I feel like does exactly the same thing, but I am curious to see the reviews and kind of like how it works. Because if it is better than the backbone experience, and it doesn't involve me ripping out my phone out of my phone case every single time I want to use it, um,
Yeah.
I would be intrigued, especially if it has a quicker connection. Because the backbone, I feel like it does take a minute to get started. Um, and it like I don't know if I'd be able to play games like God of War or Horizon or Returnal on there or anything. But I do play a lot of JRPGs and unlike Will, like I actually prefer my Fire Emblems and my Final Fantasies on the big screen. But when it comes to retro JRPGs like Final Fantasy 2, 3, 4, and pretty much all of them before 8, um, I actually don't mind those being on handheld, and sometimes actually prefer, especially when they have like the pixel graphics and stuff like that. Um, so I'll probably have to wait till I pick up maybe the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, and that will probably kind of start the hype train for me if it has some strong reviews on top of that. But yeah, that covers the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, so our topic for today, or one of the few, is how do we feel about long-time franchises? And with that, I, I don't know, guys. Do y'all want to hear my initial thoughts when I read this?
I want to hear Debbie. How does she feel about him first?
Yeah, because your first game ever was what, Call of Duty, right? So that game is still going on
Okay,
since the
yeah,
first time you played
sure,
games.
fine, fine, sure. I was like, what, 16, never held a controller in my life, and they were like, yeah, those are zombies. And I did like this one cool heroic move where I was the only one left, and they're like, get on the bus, and I just didn't. It was awful. It was awful. Like imagine a 4-year-old. That was me trying to like, but I can only see the sky, and they're like, oh my god, yeah, it was pretty high. Anyways, yeah, and then so yeah, it wasn't that's it. And then I got into Apex last year, so then I went back to COD because that's what's in right now. That's what everyone else wants to play. Um, but yeah, not it's great. And now that they're bringing zombies back, and then I can do like online gaming with that, I think that's gonna be great. That's gonna be cool. Another fun thing to do.
Yeah,
Bad
for
space.
context, yeah, she would stare at the sky or walk into a wall, just like, how do I get out of here? And now she's, trick shotting 360 no scope on Apex and switching weapons on the fly and shooting people in the head. Yeah, now she's a pro gamer.
Yeah. You really should have seen the before after. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was like
It's like
I
that.
didn't even know you could get stuck in there, and then yeah, now it's like yep, yep.
4-year-old Debbie, that was the start. The
Yeah,
legend
there
was
was
Yes,
born.
I think
literally Apex
Halo,
Legend. The legend started.
Legends. Oh,
You did a punny. You did a punny.
good job, Debbie. I'm proud of you. Good job.
Um, so when I think of longtime franchises, actually Call of Duty probably doesn't come up on there. I know the name is used a lot, but when I think of long-term franchises as a JRPG player and somebody that grew up with Nintendo, I think Mario, I think Zelda, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Fire Emblem, which ironically I didn't start playing until 2020, and that quickly flew up the ranks of my just all-time franchises. Metroid, Street Fighter, um, and I know this kind of pushes out of the Nintendo and JRPGs, but like Resident Evil, I've been on one of those fixes. So when it comes to those longtime franchises, I think it, I think honestly they are staples in today's gaming, and I guess you could throw Call of Duty in there because obviously it sells and it's a huge driver. I feel like these long term franchises just carry uh, you know the entire industry. To be honest, I know gamers as a whole are always clamoring and looking for new IPs, but at the end of the day, who's leading the charts, and that is our Call of Duties or Zeldas or Mario's. Um, and sometimes it's cool to see JRPGs jump on there too.
Hey, you
But
didn't even mention like sports games. What 2K, NBA 2K, Madden, FIFA before it became FC. Like those are also games that sell every single year. Every year there's a football game or a soccer game or a basketball game instead of
mhm.
the sports game.
It's just interesting enough. We just started getting the NBA franchises coming back. They actually stopped for a bit. I think they were needing to take a break to take care of. I don't know if it was just the legal issues or the licenses for the names, but they're finally. There's been a pause, but we already know that FIFA they lost the license, or they're not. They EA didn't renew the license to FIFA, so now it's called FC. Um,
FC.
but it's always been FIFA. Everyone calls it FIFA, and no matter how much we complain about it, there are some people that are still willing to buy the game. They're willing to, okay, I'm just gonna be the supportive loyalist. I'm gonna buy the next roster update because so and so is in here, and now they need to do the updates. And then even then they'll do real time updates for some on the newer ones, where if a player plays to another team, they can update that in real time and
Yeah,
just switch them
live
over.
service.
I,
Um,
I'm sorry, but
yeah,
I just forgot how epic God of War was watching this B roll. Oh my god. um, I'm sorry, Rolly. Go on. This
yeah,
game. Speaking of longtime franchises, God
like
of War.
I think I've already mentioned it. Pokemon. I love the
Oh,
series. I do. There has been. It took them a while to kind of get the refooting again, but it also seemed like the rinse and repeat. But I think it was Legends Arceus that actually made it me fall in love with the franchise. It's just really fun.
happy to
And
hear that.
I'm and I'm glad that, and I think I already mentioned it too. That I'm glad that Scarlet and Violet kept that same formula with the open world and doing everything in real time or at almost real time.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Nope. I agree. Pokemon. I cannot believe I left that out of my list. Yeah, that Pokemon is just tremendous. Like, yeah, it sells. It sells like a sports game, if not more or better than that. Welcome back, Will. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think, uh, like I said, longtime franchises for me are just staples. Like I think we live and die by our longtime franchises, and luckily
Yeah,
there's
I
so
mean
many options.
there are like probably my favorite franchise was Assassin's Creed. Has over 20 mainline
Assassin's
entries,
Creed.
or not mainline, but just 20
Jeez, I did
entries.
not know it was that
Like,
many.
yeah. And then I don't think that counts like the comics or the movie or the short stories. Like Lineage, Assassin's Creed Lineage was a little like not live action, CGI movie. Like there is
Mhm.
a lot of Assassin's Creed content out there.
Yeah.
Books.
Speaking of, didn't they just come out with a new installment to the
Oh,
franchise?
Mirage. Yes, I'm playing that. It's very nice.
No.
It's a shorter
Yeah.
game, probably like 20, 30 hours, depending on how well you know the franchise, how fast you are. But I'm enjoying it. It's back to its roots. It's more like the older games. A lot of stealth, a lot of not being seen, running away, stuff like that. Less fighting with a shield,
Yeah.
jump
is
shield.
is the map smaller than the, because I heard that like the more earlier like the later games, like the they started increasing like the levels, but like there's so much to do, and then like did they decrease the size and work for quality instead of quantity?
No, so actually this is smaller, a lot smaller than Valhalla, the recent one.
Okay.
And even like some like the older games, like I think two had multiple areas. Even Assassin's Creed One had more than one area, just they were just smaller areas. This
Yeah.
one is just one big city, the city of Baghdad, and it isn't into zones, but it's still one big place. And I like it. I'm liking it more than I thought I would.
Nice.
I'm surprised at how easy it was to pick up, even after playing the RPG, the more RPG ones like or Odyssey, Origins, Valhalla. I did not finish Valhalla completely. There is the DLC that I did not play, but I'm very sad about it. But that game was massive. Like I probably put 100 hours into it, and still didn't beat it. And I didn't have as much fun as I
Dang.
had in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Odyssey was the Greek one. That one I easily put 250 hours. I already beat the game at 100 hours and the DLC. I just kept playing. It was a lot of fun. I think that's
Damn.
actually one that Debbie played. Debbie liked that one too.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
about to say, you
goodness.
mean the game he forced me to put at least 20 to 30 hours in there. I was like, great, okay,
Yeah.
fine. You want to see me play?
Mm. Fun. That was actually the before it was called Stadia. It was called Project Stream, and that was their test game. Was Odyssey. They
Wow.
made it so that if you did do the test, you would get the game for free when Stadia released. So I got that on Stadia as well. But that like it was I played it a lot. So I have hours that aren't even accounted for because Stadia's gone now.
Oh,
Wow.
rest in
Rip.
peace, Stadia.
But
Poor-
that's one of those that it's a huge like interconnected story. Like it's not like Call of Duty or Madden where every game or every like set of games is its own thing. No, this is one long connected story. You know, you can watch lore videos about it that are hour, 2 hours long, longer than that. Like Destiny.
Now with that, because I know I played 1 and 2, and then I disconnected. But so that story, did it kind of like lose its way? I kind of remember that being the discourse back in the day. That the story kind of went all over the place, and then I think at some point they try to bring it all back. Am
Yeah.
I?
Spoilers for like 2012 era video games. The main character that you play as dies. Um,
Oof.
like he's basically like baby Jesus. He sacrifices himself to save the world, literally sacrifices himself to save the world. Um, After that, people were kind of like, well, what are we gonna do now? Who's the main character gonna be? And they just kept going. But if they didn't have like the present day section, the games would just be a bunch of timepieces set in history. So they kind of need that present day parts to like connect them all together and talk about the history and then how it's going to affect his history, present day, history in the video game, how it connects to like present day in the video game, and how it sets up future games and future events. So people were just upset that it was just kind of feeling like the more focus was on the being in the history part, like being in Greece, being in Egypt, which I guess it is. That's the bulk of the game is being in the Animus, playing in those history set pieces. People wanted more of the modern day stuff, but it's not as fun as running around as a Greek mercenary with superpowers.
Thing.
But no, I mean I've enjoyed it since the beginning. I've played every console entry. I didn't play the portable or the mobile ones,
Uh,
and I've enjoyed it. It's the only franchise that I've played so much, like from beginning to now. Like I'm looking at all the games they had on consoles, and there's what is this?
That is a big
12,
list too.
12 just on console, like mainline. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 14 entries.
oof.
Oh man, yeah, too many.
And
But
okay,
I
so
prefer stuff like that over like non-connected stories. Like Call of Duty, yeah, it's fun to play, but I want a bigger story. Like I guess sports too falls in that category because they're not connected. But then stuff like Final Fantasy even isn't really connected, right?
whoa, whoa,
They're
whoa, whoa,
just
hold on. Sports games are connected because every
fine.
year is another
Is it-
year in that universe. Every character gets older.
Ah,
Their
Apex
char-
does that too.
Yeah. Apex. Wait, oh, no, there's not an Apex 2 or an Apex
No, they age up
2023.
the characters. After a couple seasons, they actually age up the character models.
Do they? That is
Yeah,
actually really cool.
Wow.
I did not know that. That is cool.
yeah.
That's a nice little
And
twist.
then they also add like every time they add a new character, they have like unique voice lines between characters. So like Loba and Revenant have their unique voice lines because they're sworn enemies. So, but it's neat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another one. I guess that's a long time franchise. Not that long, but that
Well,
just keeps evolving as time
you
goes on.
got
Well,
you
if you
have to
count
remember,
Titanfall,
yeah, if you count Titanfall, but the thing is like it's its own story in the Titanfall universe. Um, because Wraith used to be a part of a different group, and you see that group when you play Titanfall 2 campaign. So you actually see that like part of it, which I'm still waiting for Titanfall 3. Please, maybe one
Not
day.
happening.
I know it's
Yeah.
been canceled, but one day maybe they'll rethink about it. But other than that, I like how you can still get the same weapons from Titanfall 2 that when you go play Apex Legends, you're like, okay, same weapons except for just a different style. But it was really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mhm.
And when it came out, and then fun fact about that one too, the Octane, the character, he has like robotic legs, or like, you know, not real legs, because when he was doing the Titanfall entrance exam, he used a grenade to push himself over the finish line. They based that character off a speedrunner who did that to, get the time. So that was neat that
Yeah,
they incorporated that.
yeah, that was a night. I love that how they did that. Is the how they incorporated that one speedrunner. So that is pretty hard, man.
You, you know,
I,
y'all, y'all, y'all actually kind of brought up a good point though, or really, I don't know if that's where you were going with it, but yeah, I wouldn't consider Apex a long going franchise because technically that's still the same installments, right? The same game, but of course it gets a little gray because it's this is the era of live service. Um,
well, then you would say, what, World of Warcraft, is that a long term game? It's still the same game, right?
yeah, I
So
to be fair, I don't, yeah,
same thing with Eve Online,
like
StarCraft.
like like I don't know if I would call World of Warcraft like a franchise. I would just say that's just a
A game.
MMO. Like yeah, an MMO game.
Same
That's
Yeah.
thing with like Guild Wars came out with Guild Wars 2, and that's still going on.
And Final
yeah.
Fantasy 11, then Final Fantasy 14, because 11 was an MMO, and 14 is the new MMO.
But
But
those are
Japan,
still installments of Final Fantasy,
true.
which
They just don't really interconnect much. But yeah.
you know.
Um, but do we really need more Marvel Cinematic Universe style games? Do we really need that, or I don't know. It depends. Because
Wait,
Like
you can
yes,
kind of get burned out.
even Elder Scrolls is different games. They're connected, same universe, but
yeah.
there's big time jumps between them. They're not
hmm
that connected.
But they're different installments, and I would treat the Elder Scrolls as a long time franchise. I think that would. And I don't mean to put qualifiers on it, but yeah, I would qualify Elder Scrolls as a longtime franchise. Even though, like you said, the stories like there's nothing that correlates Morrowind and Skyrim. I'm sure somebody in the comments can correct me there if I'm wrong, but but yeah, I think the general public doesn't see a huge connection other than probably the same game engine that they still use to today. But
That's true. And Assassin's Creed, I don't know, because it's so many games. I can't really call that like my favorite game of all time. I mean, franchise, maybe favorite franchise of all time, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Favorite game is pushing it. I do have like one like super favorite game of all time, but I want to go last so I can wow you with my hours on it. Is there any game that y'all would consider like your favorite game of all time?
X.
Apex? Why, Debbie? Why not Halo or COD?
Apex, like I like it. Oh my god, like I can go off about it. The point is, I have over 100 hours. Keep in mind, I just started. I just started Apex, literally like 365 days ago, and like I like it. No one wants to play with me though, so
Yeah,
yep.
and that's
Mine's
not playing
downloaded.
No,
then
he's
A,
downloaded.
right? Yeah.
Okay, yes, we have this date going on. We're gonna do Apex. Yes, you're right. Okay, you're right.
I'm curious,
Fine.
can you Apex with like a party more than three? And what I mean by that, I know the games are usually 3-on-3. Um, but like if you have a fourth person in there, like will it like rotate people out of your party, or is it
No,
just three?
it's just the
It's
three.
Okay. I knew
It's
the answer to
balanced for
that,
three.
but I was hoping to be wrong.
Yeah, it's already balanced for three people, and each person has like their own skill sets to accommodate. I think
However, they do have private matches now, but you need like a sizable group to get the private match going.
Hmm, interesting. So Debbie's Apex, and I guess Roly or
Ocarina of Time,
Ocarina of Time for
one of
the
my all-time
all-time, huh?
favorites.
They remake
All-time
that one. They
favorites.
remade that one.
Yes.
They have it for the 3DS. I actually have an Ocarina of Time in box for the 64. I found
wow.
it. I spent the money for it. It was worth it for me. For me, it's more. It's. But it, like everyone could say all their favorite Zelda games, and I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna do any of that because we all have specific ones. But yeah, Ocarina of Time, and I played the 3D version too, so I love it.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, no, Ocarina
Walter?
of Time, I'm sure that is a very popular one. Now
Yeah.
for my all-time game, I don't know if I can actually call it an all-time game because I honestly think, with the weather, my all-time game kind of changes. It kind of rotates with a certain group of games, but Ocarina of Time, sometimes you'll hear me say that is probably my all-time game. Um, Hell, Resident Evil 2 on N64, that was one of my greatest of all times. But right now, if I were gun to my head and had to pick one, I'll throw Pokemon in there too. Pokemon Red version, old school. Shoot, that probably just triggered my love for video games. But I would say my game of all time would be Super Mario World. I feel like that is just an ageless game. I get to jump on my Yoshi. I could play that game anytime, at any age, anywhere. Like I feel like, it's on. I pick up a controller and I could just play it and enjoy it. Like, uh, again, my answer changes all the time. Right now, it would be Super Mario World, but that is definitely one of the games that always comes up to mind when I hear the word all time next to my video games. Yes.
Before Wolf brings in, I just want to say there is one game that kind of feels like the like my journey every once in a while. It just hits me just at random. Is Super Mario Brothers 3. I just have to every few years. I just have to play through the most of that I can without whistling to other places, and then just try to finish it. I'll try to go through all the levels. So it's kind of like a spiritual journey for me, just out of nowhere. And then I just have to play it, and then I'm done. And then wait for the next few years. So that's just me.
How many hours do you think you put into Ocarina of Time?
I've replayed it. I have replayed it on the 64 about like 4 or 5 times.
Mario
The
3
Switch
is great.
Online at least once, just to kind of reminisce. The 3DS one at least one time. I do want to go through the Master Quest, so I'd say about maybe 100 hours. I'm out.
Pretty good. And Walter, how much do you think you put into Super Mario World?
I don't know. I want to say I've like played it all the way through, and I mean all the way through, like the 10 bonus levels, the Bizarro world. I've done that probably at least 3 times. But I don't know how long that would like equate to time. Like I said, I've played it pretty much every generation of my life. I've played it probably somewhere in my first 10 years. I played it again, actually a lot with Dustin in my 20s. And yeah, I
Baby Dustin? Yeah,
probably ran it again in my 30s.
Baby
um,
Dustin.
I was like, yeah, so I actually wouldn't be able to put a time because at the same time, it's not a very long game. It's not like a live service or anything. Uh, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to put an hour. I don't even know how long one playthrough is for that. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Well, yeah, I did want to go last because I I can fight with myself
wow.
about favorite game like Splinter Cell or Assassin's Creed or can't think of any other game. But there's one game that I play every single year, every year that
My
I
God.
realize now. Yeah, going
That's,
back on Xbox, that Skyrim. Skyrim
I knew
had
it.
since it
I knew it.
came out. I've been going back
Ugh.
every single year. Like the first time I played it was on GameFly. I got it off GameFly. I was like, sure, I'll try this out. I didn't play Oblivion. I was like, it came out in 2011. I was like 12, 13 years old when it came out, 14 years old, and got it on GameFly, played it. I was like, this game is great. I had to cancel GameFly because I wasn't getting any other games. So I said, you know what, I can't do any more games. I'm just playing this.
I'm just gonna buy this.
Played it,
Let's
beat it.
save.
Yeah. Played
Oh,
it, beat it, and this
That's
is before I had a PC.
crazy.
Got my first like decent PC. Got it there. Played with mods, and the game
nice.
came out on PS3 and 360. I got it on GameFly on 360. Liked it. I bought it on PS3. Played it again because I wanted to beat it again, and then got it on PC with mods. So played it through all the mods. Then when I got after PC, it came out on PS4 and Xbox One. I bought it on Xbox One, played it there, stopped playing for a little bit. Then they released mods on console, so I played it again on Xbox One with more mods. Then they released it on Switch, bought it on Switch. Played it there, vanilla, no mods, played through. And I think at that time I also did it without fast traveling. So I
Oh
played
man.
all of Skyrim, no fast travel. Oh, mainline
Uh,
Skyrim, no fast travel.
I'll give you if you ever come visit. I have Skyrim on VR, on the PlayStation VR. So if you ever
see,
want to try that,
I have VR, and that's my next thing to play is Skyrim. I got VR for $60. It came with Gran Turismo, is that the VR game that came on PS5. Yeah, and I think it was that one.
Yes.
And then it came with the camera, the move controllers, and I came with the headset, all the wires and stuff. So that's my next game to play on VR. And then I also played. I'm not gonna tell you because it's embarrassing how many hours I played it on Alexa when it came out for that. I played it on the Alexa because you can play Skyrim on Alexa. Yes. So you can play Skyrim on your fridge if it's Alexa enabled,
Wait,
which
what?
is not what I
Like,
did. I didn't
does
play
it
on my
like
phone.
show you?
No,
Skyrim?
No, it's just video. Think of it like the text adventure, but
Yeah.
no text. It's just voice. She's telling you.
it's like a D&D, like D&D, like on through
It's
Alexa.
super light D&D. Yes.
It's
Oof.
literally you do not want to do that to yourself. Don't hate yourself.
Yeah.
Don't pull a wheel. Yes, exactly.
But all in all, and then I played it again recently before the beginning of the year. I played it before all the releases really started coming out. Played that, got through it because they released another version. So they have the regular Skyrim for PS3, Skyrim for PS4, and then they had the Skyrim Anniversary Edition as a complete edition, and then they have the special edition. I think the most recent one actually is the Anniversary Edition because it comes with all the Creation Club content, which is like mods that they included in the game. So that's neat. But to sum it all up, favorite game of the year, I've easily put 500 hours across my entire life into that game.
Yeesh.
So
Yeah,
And
nice.
and Dusty on
rant.
chat said he went to go buy NBA 2K like he does, and walked out with Skyrim. So for that one time, that's interesting. You go for one game, next thing you know, Skyrim comes out, and you're just like, okay, best game ever.
You're like, I didn't know that came out. Let me grab that.
Yeah.
Ooh, this looks interesting. Yeah, no, Skyrim is one of the funnest games, yeah, I've ever played as well. I haven't played it that many times, but yeah, that was great. That was great. Well, thanks for sharing. With that,
Sorry for going on.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're passionate. We like that. But yeah, with that, I guess we could go ahead and close out today's episode. It's a nice slow news week, and I think that opened up for a lot of discussion. I hope everybody watching found that fun. I hope at the very least the people in this video found it fun. But with that, let's go ahead and does anybody have any self plugs they'd like to put out there?
I do. So to live up to our name, all right, don't follow Dustin. All right, we're petty about it. He didn't show up today. He's our dedicated streamer, so if the stream is terrible for this week, I apologize. It's Dustin's job, not mine. You might have audio only this week. Just throwing it out there, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Wait, did you even plug anything, or were you just trying to get?
It's petty. Okay,
I got the penny. I just didn't see the plug.
I needed the floor again, so I had to say that. I needed the floor again to say my piece.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Oh, wait, Debbie. Oh my God, you're throwing people out. Dorky Raptor, did you have any plugs?
Nah, I'm good right now.
All right, Debbie. Before you log out, did you have any self plugs?
Fine,
She
it's
does,
fine. We're
but
all
they're
good
not
here.
ready yet. Yeah, she's got to get them
Yeah.
ready.
All right, all right.
Any plugs for
With
you, Walter?
me, I'm not very big on any of the socials. I do have a YouTube, but if anybody is interested in that, you should be able to find me at All Day Wong. And I tell you what, it's every week, but if I get 10 subscribers, I'll go ahead and start making content on there. There you go. So if you want to see more of this face, this voice, you are welcome to subscribe and entice me to get myself back into all that. But with that, that is everything, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Why not? It's free. Um, and with that, I guess we call it a night. Thanks for joining us. Wong out.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yay. I got to cough the stream.
Okay. Did y'all close it this time? I didn't hang up. That's progress, right?
Yeah, it's progress.
Oh,
Better progress than
yeah.
last
Hey,
week.
yeah.